Catch him! Don't let him escape! Please don't hurt me!
Ah! You want to be a hero?
Leave her alone. Chisom, run!
Many years before jealousy entered their friendship, Chisom and Chiamaka were inseparable. Their story began on a hot Monday morning during the first week of university. New students filled the campus. Some looked excited, some looked confused, others looked completely lost. Among them was Chisom. She stood under a large mango tree holding a map of the campus upside down. She had been searching for the Faculty of Social Sciences for almost an hour. The more she looked at the map, the more confused she became. Just then, a cheerful voice interrupted her. "My sister, if you continue looking at that map upside down, you might end up in another state." Chisom looked up. Standing before her was a beautiful young lady with bright eyes and a mischievous smile. It was Chiamaka. For a few seconds, Chisom stared at her. Then she looked at the map. It was truly upside down. She burst into laughter. Chiamaka laughed too. That was the beginning. "I am Chiamaka," the girl said proudly. "Chisom," she replied. "Lost? Very lost. Good, at least I'm not the only one." Both girls laughed again. As they talked, they discovered something surprising. They belonged to the same department. They were both first-year students and they were both searching for the same lecture hall. The problem was that neither of them knew where it was. Instead of asking for directions, they decided to find it themselves. That turned out to be a terrible decision. For nearly 2 hours, they wandered around the campus. They entered the wrong building 3 times. They accidentally attended part of an engineering lecture. A lecturer even asked them to sit down and take notes. Only after 20 minutes did they realize they were in the wrong class. Embarrassed, they quietly escaped. Outside, Chiamaka laughed so hard that tears rolled down her cheeks. Chisom laughed too. By lunchtime, they were already sharing jokes like old friends. From that day onward, they sat together in every lecture. They studied together. They walked to class together. When Chisom forgot her pen, Chiamaka lent her one. When Chiamaka forgot her notes, Chisom shared hers. Soon, students began calling them the twins. Even lecturers noticed them. If Chisom entered a classroom, people automatically expected Chiamaka to be behind her. If Chiamaka appeared alone, students would immediately ask, "Where is Chisom?" Months passed. Their friendship became stronger. During examinations, they encouraged each other. During difficult times, they supported each other. When Chisom's father became ill, Chiamaka stayed by her side. When Chiamaka lost her phone, Chisom helped her search the entire campus. Everyone admired their friendship. Many students wished they had a friend like that. Neither girl imagined that one day they would become enemies. Neither girl imagined that jealousy would slowly poison everything they had built. At that moment, they were simply 2 young women chasing their dreams together. But hidden inside Chiamaka's heart was a weakness she did not yet understand. And one day, that weakness would turn 2 best friends into bitter rivals. The friendship between Chisom and Chiamaka continued to grow. By their second semester, everybody on campus knew them. If there was laughter, Chiamaka was usually responsible. If there was a solution to a difficult problem, Chisom usually found it. One Friday evening, after a long day of lectures, both girls decided to attend a departmental welcome party. The event was lively. Music blasted from giant speakers. Students danced. Food disappeared from tables faster than lecturers disappeared after exams. Chiamaka was the queen of the dance floor. Meanwhile, Chisom sat with friends, laughing and enjoying the atmosphere. Around 9 p.m., the party ended. students began heading back to their hostels. The campus roads became quieter. Street lights flickered above them. As Chisom and Chiamaka walked together, they noticed a crowd gathering ahead. A female student was crying uncontrollably. My phone is gone. Another student shouted, mine too. Within minutes, panic spread. Several students had lost their phones during the party. People accused one another. Arguments erupted everywhere. Suddenly, a frightened student pointed at a young man running toward the back gate. That's him! The crowd exploded into action. Students began chasing the suspect. The young man jumped over a fence. People screamed. Some ran after him, others stayed behind. Without thinking, Chiamaka joined the chase. Chiamaka, stop! Chisom shouted. But Chiamaka was already gone. Chisom sighed and ran after her. The suspect sprinted through a narrow path behind the lecture halls. Students followed closely. The chase became intense. People jumped over gutters, some fell, others kept running. Suddenly, the suspect disappeared behind an abandoned building. The crowd stopped. Everyone looked around nervously. The area was dark. Too dark. A strange silence filled the air. Then, crash! A metal drum fell nearby. Several students screamed and scattered. Before anyone could react, 3 masked men emerged from the shadows. The crowd froze. One of the men held a stick. Another carried a knife. The third carried a bag filled with stolen phones. The students realized something terrifying. The running man had led them into an ambush. Fear gripped everyone. Hand over your phones, one of the thieves shouted. Nobody moved. The thief raised his knife. I said now! Students quickly surrendered their belongings. Chisom's heart pounded. Chiamaka looked terrified. One student tried to run. The thief chased him and pushed him to the ground. Panic erupted. Students screamed and scattered in different directions. In the confusion, Chiamaka tripped over a stone. She crashed heavily onto the ground. The thieves were getting closer. Her ankle twisted painfully. She tried standing. She couldn't. Fear flooded her eyes. Chisom! The shout echoed through the darkness. At that moment, Chisom had already escaped several meters away. She could have continued running. Nobody would blame her. But when she heard Chiamaka scream, she stopped. For a second. Then another. The safe choice was obvious. Run! Save yourself. Instead, Chisom turned around and ran back toward danger. The thieves were approaching Chiamaka. One grabbed her bag, another reached for her phone. Chiamaka was crying. Then suddenly, whack! A wooden plank struck one thief's arm. The man yelled in pain. Everyone turned. It was Chisom, holding a broken piece of wood. The thief glared at her. You want to be a hero? The other thieves advanced toward her. Chiamaka's eyes widened. There were 3 of them, only one of her. Yet Chisom refused to move. Her legs trembled, but she stood her ground. Just then, loud whistles echoed throughout the darkness. Campus security! The thieves panicked! Run! Within seconds, they disappeared into the bushes. Security officers arrived moments later. The remaining students were rescued. As calm slowly returned, Chiamaka stared at her friend. She could hardly believe what had happened. Why Why did you come back? She asked quietly. Chisom smiled. Why did you come back? She asked quietly. Chisom smiled. Because you're my friend. Tears filled Chiamaka's eyes. That night, while everyone praised Chisom's bravery, Chiamaka made a silent promise. A promise she truly meant. No matter what happens, I will never betray this friendship. Unfortunately, life would soon test that promise. And one day, she would break it in the worst way imaginable. After the incident with the thieves, Chisom became something of a campus hero. Students talked about her bravery for weeks. Some exaggerated the story. Others claimed she fought 10 thieves at once. One student even claimed Chisom performed karate kicks in the darkness. Whenever she heard such stories, Chisom simply laughed. I only picked up a piece of wood, she would say. But the more she denied the stories, the more people admired her. Meanwhile, Chiamaka stayed close to her friend. She was genuinely grateful. After all, Chisom had risked her safety to save her. For a while, everything seemed perfect again. Then one morning, the department announced a major event, the Dean's Excellence Challenge. It was the biggest academic competition in the faculty. The winner would receive a scholarship, a laptop, and national recognition. Hundreds of students immediately registered. Among them were Chisom and Chiamaka. At first, both friends were excited. They studied together, solved past questions together, encouraged each other. May the best woman win, Chiamaka joked. Chisom laughed. Amen. Neither realized that this competition would change everything. The first round arrived. The lecture hall was packed. Students answered difficult questions under strict supervision. When the results were released, the entire faculty was shocked. Out of hundreds of participants, only 20 remained. And among those 20 were Chisom and Chiamaka. The crowd applauded. The two friends hugged. But as the competition progressed, a pattern began to appear. In every round, Chisom ranked first, Chiamaka ranked second. First round, Chisom first, Chiamaka second. Second round, Chisom first, Chiamaka second. Third round, Chisom first, Chiamaka second. People began talking. Chisom is unstoppable. She's brilliant. Nobody can beat her. The words stung Chiamaka like thorns. One afternoon, she sat alone in her hostel room. Her roommate Ngozi noticed her mood. What's wrong? Nothing. Ngozi raised an eyebrow. That's a lie. Chiamaka sighed. Then the truth slipped out. I'm tired. Tired of what? Tired of always coming second. Ngozi looked surprised. Second out of hundreds of students? Yes. That's amazing. Not when your best friend is always fast. The room became quiet. For the first time, Chiamaka spoke the feelings she had hidden for months. Feelings she was ashamed of. Feelings that were growing stronger every day. Jealousy. The final round was approaching. Only 5 students remained. The entire faculty was excited. Students placed bets. Lecturers discussed possible winners. Most people believed Chisom would win. That prediction echoed everywhere. And every time Chiamaka heard it, something dark stirred inside her. One evening, while studying in the library, she noticed something. Chisom had accidentally left her notebook on the table. Not just any notebook, the notebook. The one containing months of research and preparation for the final round. Chiamaka stared at it. Her heart began racing. The library was nearly empty. Nobody was watching. Nobody would know. A dangerous thought entered her mind. If Chisom doesn't have this notebook, she immediately shook her head. No, thought returned, stronger this time. This may be your only chance to win. Her hands trembled. She knew it was wrong. She knew Chisom trusted her completely. She knew Chisom had once risked her life to save her. Yet, jealousy whispered louder than her conscience. Slowly, very slowly, she reached for the notebook, just as her fingers touched it. Chiamaka. A voice suddenly came from behind. She nearly jumped out of her chair. It was Chisom, smiling, walking back toward the table. I almost forgot my notebook, Chisom said cheerfully. Chiamaka quickly pulled her hand away. Oh, yes. Chisom picked up the notebook. Thank you for watching it for me. The words hit Chiamaka like a slap. Thank you for watching it for me. Guilt flooded her chest. For a moment, she hated herself. What was happening to her? Why was she thinking this way? Why couldn't she simply be happy for her friend?
Will Chiamaka betray the friend who once risked her life to save her? Or will her conscience stop her before it's too late? The next part will leave you speechless. Did you enjoy these stories? Then don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because the next chapter is even more shocking. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what happened next.